What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 39 of the Good Point Rub podcast. As you guys know, my name is Caden. This is my little bro Cam.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep, baby. All right, so a little bit of delay in the last episode. There might still be, there might not be. Who knows? We're trying to work on it, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it'll be better, though, this podcast.
All right, guys. Crazy day yesterday in the NFL. Still some stuff starting to pick up in the NBA. It's a little bit more interesting now. I got some fun stats for you on the NBA. I got one.
Okay.
Because you know for a fact this little dude's going to want to talk about LeBron James and the stretch that he's been on. 5-game win streak for the Lakeshow.
Yeah, I mean,
Thomas Bryant's him. Tommy boy.
they got maybe AD going down was like really good because the role players are stepping up. Thomas Brown, Russ is playing well. Thomas Bryant.
Yeah. Their center. Which
Yeah.
is good for AD that the center's good.
Yeah, because
back
AD
and
doesn't
forth.
like playing center.
No. And
So-
then Dennis Schroeder is a 3-point sniper right now.
Yeah, he looks like the old Dennis Schroeder on OKC and on the Hawks that was just a pure scorer. He would come in. I think he won Sixth Man of the Year with OKC, or he was a candidate at least. So with him playing the way he's playing, that's going to be good. But if AD is healthy going into the playoffs, and they could, in my opinion, win the West because the West is just a jumbled up.
Yeah.
Like there's no clear favorite. So
for
in a
sure.
7-game series, I think they could beat anybody in the West.
Yeah, the West. Yeah, I'm with you.
And anybody in the East because the Bucks are weird.
So, speaking of the Lakers and 3-point shooting, though, what is up with LeBron from 30?
I feel like, well, this happened last year too.
You
When
know
he
he's
had
29.5% from three.
from three. Well,
Wait,
last
one
year,
more thing on that stat before, and then you can plead your case. Out of 152 qualified NBA players for a minimum 3-point shooting, he is 151st.
and Russ is 150.
And Russ is 152nd.
I mean, that's a cool stat, but what is your point with the 3-point shooting? He's
Well-
averaging like 37 on 60% shooting in his last 10 games.
So imagine if he could shoot threes.
Okay, he this is the type of 3-point shooter he is. He's really streaky. I'm sure he'll go up in 3-point percentage. I'm sure he'll end the season at like 33, 34%, which his career average is 34%. So, I mean, the 3-point shot isn't concerning with me. He's averaging 30 now.
That is a funny stat,
So-
though.
No, it's a funny stat for sure. But if he's scoring this much and he's not shooting threes, just wait till he gets hot from 3. But I mean,
It's game over.
he basically has the same stats as he did last season.
He'll break Kareem's record in 10 games.
Yeah, he will soon. If he keeps averaging 30, he'll break it in like 13 or 14 games. Just crazy.
I literally don't care really anything else about the NBA. So if there's something else you want to talk about, I'll go back and forth, but I don't even know.
Nah, I don't care about talking about the NBA right now.
All right, so if you're an NBA fan, sorry, we're done with the NBA. But if you stick around, as soon as the NFL's over, I'm sure we'll be locked in on it.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
just,
sure.
it's just a season we're in. Oops.
What?
Bree texted me. She goes, I can either take my test on Wednesday or the 23rd. And I meant to say Wednesday ? And it said wed and then space and said everyone. And then I meant to say ? And it sent V. So it said wed everyone V. And she just said what?
My phone screen's
yours
all
is-
whack, so
Yeah,
I have to
Cam's phone is
literally.
destroyed.
I have to type in messages like 5 times.
Have you ever
Just
tried
to
to
get
hit
it
the
right.
little mic and then say the text?
I mean, yeah, I could start doing that, but I just don't ever
Or could
do it.
you? Or does it use the same one as you use on speaker?
No,
If it
I
uses
can
the
like
same
talk.
mic you
I
use
can
on-
talk to Siri and stuff.
Okay.
So
All right, so we're going to start. Man, who are we going to start with, dude? Let's start with this, actually. As you guys know that follow the podcast, I'm a Bears fan, Chicago fan, almost in every way, but especially a Bears fan. And yesterday was the Bears Super Bowl. Lovie Smith gave us one last Christmas present with a win over the Colts to give us the number 1 pick. Yeah, the Packers lost to the Lions. I mean,
Yeah, and
Aaron
I was
Rodgers,
saying-
I mean, go Bears, huh?
I was saying a few
13-14.
podcasts ago that the Texans and the Bears were the same team.
And they're just not.
Yeah, they are the same team. They
It-
just got the number 1 pick.
That doesn't mean. Okay, so when the Cincinnati Bengals got the number 1 pick, were they the same team as the Browns? Were they the same team as the Texans are now? No, because those teams had bright futures. That's the difference between the Texans
The
and the
Bears have bright
The-
futures.
Yes, the Bears have a bright future.
How?
They're their offensive numbers, their rushing numbers were one of the best in the NFL.
Oh, that's okay. So you were saying that Justin Fields has the most time out of any quarterback in the whole NFL,
so that's another good
and
point.
can't throw.
That's another great point. Their line is one of the best in the NFL. It's a good point by you. It's a lot better than the Texans' line. Their defense is much better than the Texans. The Texans are bottom 3 in both offense and defense.
And still the Bears somehow got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
No, I mean
that's good.
Yeah, you'd rather have they're going to get that guy from Georgia because they're not going to draft the quarterback.
I think they're going to act like they don't want that they want a QB for a little bit and just test the field and see who wants to trade for him. But yeah, I mean, when you look at those teams, what you really have to look at is the future. And with the Bears, with my Bears, there is a future. With the Texans, there is not. It's not looking bright for the Texans.
Why is it looking bright for the Bears? Just because they have an offensive
here's
line and they have a quarterback who can't throw.
The Texans have had back-to-back one-year coaches, one and done. They fired both, one and done. They have no coaching staff. They don't know who they have.
Bears just fired their coach last year.
Right, and they have confidence in the guy they have now.
Yeah, and get him to the number 1 pick.
Okay. And their GM's better. Okay. And the Texans are about to fire their GM as well.
They're in the same. They're basically in the same boat.
The Bears have the
number 1
pick.
One is a
generationally bad team, and they're going to continue with no bright future.
Generationally bad team when they had Deshaun Watson, they were good.
Right, I'm just talking about how bad they are right now is extreme. I'm saying like if one shows promise and they're ranking higher than also the Bears led the league in one possession lost games. Did you know that? Yeah, they had a higher plus minus than the Vikings.
And they just lost every game.
Right, but it was close. The same with the Detroit Lions when they first started.
The
Detroit Lions won 10.
The Texans almost beat the Chiefs and the Cowboys back-to-back weeks to end the year as well.
You don't think those teams? First of all, let's wait on the Cowboys because I would reply to that with something that I'm going to say later with the Cowboys. But regardless, I'm not saying that the Texans can't play bad games or good games.
You're just biased towards the Bears because you're a Bears fan, dude. Their coach just got fired. They have a quarterback.
If you're the Texans, what are you looking forward to?
Let me finish what I'm saying. You just had a coach got fired last year, and then this year you were talking about how they had the best offensive line in the NFL, and Justin Fields gets sacked more than anybody.
That's not true. I didn't say it was best in the NFL, and Justin Fields
did. You said he has the most time to throw.
In week 10. I don't know if that's still even true. When I said it was week 10.
Okay, that's a pretty large sample size.
That's a promising offensive line. Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, that's a good offensive. But I'm saying how.
No
so
one
you're
said
just banking on this quarterback to develop, is what you're saying.
I never said Justin Fields. Never came out of my mouth. I never said QB. I said defense, and I said offensive ratings, and I said, good point by you, the line's good. Where's Justin Fields? I never said the name Justin Fields.
Do you think they should draft a quarterback?
No, I think maybe you dabble with it and at least get the league to think that you might. For sure. I think you
can do what?
So that you have leverage to trade, because if people don't think
you're trade for what?
Trade your number 1 pick for help. Probably a wide receiver.
I just want to bank on Justin Fields.
But I never said I was. I just said that the team obviously has more promise than the than the Texans, which is true, and everyone would say that. If you put a power rankings of the NFL.
Okay, I'll give you that, but what I was saying a couple podcasts ago was,
and I think you're still
that
wrong.
The Texans beating the Texans is the same thing as beating the Bears, because the whole argument was the Eagles struggling with the Bears.
And if you don't think that the Bears were selling at the end of the year, then you're crazy.
But the Texans were?
No, they benched Justin Fields like 6 games this year.
Yeah, because he was hurt.
Oh, yeah, and then when he was healthy, what'd they do? Oh, he needs one more week. And then he was benched last week, too.
That's another thing. He runs so much, he's going to get hurt because he can't throw. If I was the Bears, I'm drafting a quarterback. Let them compete for a spot. See who's a better quarterback, then trade whoever isn't.
Yeah,
That's what I would do with the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. This is like the most confusing chart. Where's just a team ranking? Anyway,
they're both bottom 5 teams. I know that.
They're both
at least
bad.
in power
They're
rankings.
both bad, but I'm just saying. There's no there. It would be like saying who had the number? It was like when Cincinnati and Jacksonville were both bad at the same time. No one was thinking, well, Cincinnati's just as bad as Jacksonville, but Cincinnati had the number 1 pick.
Yeah. I mean,
it's similar to that, I feel like. Regardless, all I was celebrating was that as a Bears fan, our Super Bowl just happened yesterday. when Davis Mills decided to let the Texans not be able to draft his replacement by a Hail Mary the last second. Lovie Smith was the coach of that team who coached the Bears and gave us one last gift before he got fired by not giving his team the number 1 pick by winning the game at the last second. It was great. And then the Packers lost. How much happier could you be? I didn't even watch the Bears game yesterday. I didn't even keep up with it.
I think the future of the NFC North is the Lions, not the Bears.
I think that the Lions, OC, I think his name's Johnson or something Johnson. I think it might have been in my notes.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Ben Johnson. So, the Lions OC, Ben Johnson. Why is it doing that?
That's weird. I don't know.
Okay, I think the Lions, as far as a buy or sell, if Ben Johnson stays, if they can convince him to stay, it's a buy for next year. If he leaves, it's a sell. He is their offense. He is a masterful OC. His play calling is impeccable. He's going to have a job wherever he wants, in my opinion.
So do you think they're going to draft a quarterback? Because I think they have the 6th pick. So maybe they'll trade up for Stroud or Bryce.
I really like – so Jared Goff had something like 300 pass attempts without a pick. He was 18-0 leading up to this week. I think he was 1-0 yesterday.
He had like 8 or 9 straight games without an interception.
So in my opinion, Jared Goff is a good QB. He's playing well. I don't see why you trade up to try to draft C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. And if you're not getting either of those two guys, I don't draft a QB. Now, if one accidentally,
I would think that
weird thing happens and he falls to you,
okay,
maybe consider it for sure.
I would think that you might do that because then you get that young guy and then he sits behind Goff.
Yes, that's a great thing in sports.
I know. He sits behind Goff and then he gets good or whatever. Like Pat Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith.
But Goff is 30. He's not like 100.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I'm just saying, can Goff win you a Super Bowl? I don't know. But this quarterback draft
the
is
way he
rich,
played
man.
the second half.
No, he's playing good. I might get a guy, and I guess they want a guy on defense is what their main objective is. But I would get Stroud or Bryce, have him sit behind Goff, and then
I mean, I could definitely see that.
Now, if Goff just balls out next year, and if he does that, then you can trade one of those guys. But if he doesn't, then you have a backup plan in place.
Which whoever gets Ben Johnson from the Lions, congrats. Like that, I think that's where we're gonna start heading. These Ron Rivera defensive-minded head coaches. I think for the next couple years,
even
it's
Bill
be hard for them
Belichick
to get jobs. See, Bill Belichick is a weird thing because Bill Belichick is trying to be comfortable and he's coaching. He's like, I'm gonna work with these 3 coaches. The rest of you coaches work with those 2 coaches, and then I'm gonna work with these set of players and then not these set of players. And he's weird, man. Like whatever he's doing right now is weird and it's not focused on winning.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know if you necessarily see that, but going into that's also my notes.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is not the problem in New England.
Yeah, he's not.
Mac Jones is not the problem in New England.
I don't think so either.
There is so many problems in New England that they got 99 problems and Mac Jones is not one. I mean,
they have the worst weapons I've ever seen in my life. Like they can't
Devontae
catch
Parker
the
can
ball.
play. Devontae Parker.
They have horrible weapons in general. As playmakers, they suck, dude. They have to lead the league in drops. Have to.
Oh, let's look that up.
There's just no way.
Let's look that up.
Because a guy like Mac Jones, he's not as good as extending plays as
Team
other
leaders,
quarterbacks.
number 1, Tampa Bay.
Is the leader in drops.
29.
What's Patriots?
The Patriots are 23rd. But it's 17. And there's like 17, 20, 20, 20. So it's kind of
just
too
bunched
small,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But 29 is a lot. It's tied for first with the Jaguars, actually.
Jeez.
So
still, though, especially watching
and
that game.
what's even crazier? Tom Brady broke the record for the most completions in a season this year.
That's insane.
And he had the most drops
he
in the
throws
league.
it 50 times a game.
Yeah, because they can't run.
Yeah.
The running game
He
is
throws
32nd.
it so many
32nd.
times.
The Packers were 4th. The Bills were 3rd. The Dolphins were 5. The Dolphins.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Let's see if
Where's the Chiefs at?
7.
7?
I knew you were about to ask that. I was just looking at it. Bengals are 11. Let's look at the bottom half.
It's funny how all these great teams, they're in the leader of
shoot.
drops. That's so funny to me. Like the Chiefs, Bills, Bengals are all in the top half.
Yeah.
So we got the Chiefs are ranked number 7.
All right. if you do you think you could carry the podcast on your own for like literally 30 seconds?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you going to talk about?
I'll talk about the Pat Mahomes.
All right, go talk about Pat Mahomes.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just gonna cut this out?
No,
Why?
because it's funny.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All
I
right.
got to go pee.
All right. This is weird.
You got this.
All right, but this proves my point that Pat Mahomes is the MVP when they're ranked 7th in drops. Their guard play is the worst in the NFL. Like, they get the most pressures from the guard position than any other team in the NFL. And you lose Tyreek Hill, and still this man delivers. They got the number 1 seed. I know it was on that stupid rule that should have ended differently, but they still got the number 1 seed. Which is the 3rd time he's done that since he started in 2018. And he's just balling. 41 touchdowns, 12 picks. Lost Tyreek Hill, it doesn't matter. Pat Mahomes is the MVP this year. 2nd in his career. Adam just called you.
Yeah, I declined it on my watch.
Oh.
I'll answer in a second.
That's a clip, bro. What I just said.
It's a clip.
Yeah.
You just killed it.
Yeah.
All by yourself. How about yourself?
I also think, though, talking about the Packers,
Yeah.
it's time for either Aaron Rodgers to retire or go to a different team.
Aaron Rodgers.
Because if I'm the
man.
Packers, you
Yeah,
just
go
do a
Oh, it's right there.
yeah, you just do a rebuild at this point. Like, you're paying this dude $50 million. You're not going to be able to get anybody around him that's good because of how much money you're paying on Aaron Rodgers. I would just do a complete full rebuild with Jordan Love and just revamp this thing. 'Cause
So
you're just not getting anywhere with Rodgers and not a lot of talent around him.
Aaron Rodgers, man, dude, he's cool. I don't know if you guys saw Aaron Rodgers on Joe Rogan. You've seen it on Pat McAfee. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
But that interview post game last night was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
I didn't watch it. What did he say?
So, I mean, it was weird, dude. Like, so they asked him something about, like, you know, if you retire, you know, you have this big contract, a lot of money involved. Like, would you be sad to miss out on all this money? And he was like, you know, money is energy. And, you know, I've accumulated a lot of energy over my time.
You know who he reminds me
Dude,
of?
it was weird.
You know who he
bro.
reminds me of? He reminds me of Katie and Kyrie because they think they're like woke, I guess. Like they act very different, almost like from he went to California college,
Yeah.
Cal.
He's from
So,
California.
Yeah, so he just has that vibe to him, like he's like really like just meditation and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And I think it rubs people the wrong way because it rubs me the wrong way because
Which,
what? It rubs me the wrong way because he seems like he's just above everything. Like he acts like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And he's not a winner, man. Like think about this. You're 38 years old. You just said you've accumulated a lot of energy and you decide to do a $200 million 4-year contract. So then you have no chance of winning a Super Bowl because they can't get anybody that's good around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that rubs me the wrong way.
Here, I'll see if I can find it. But this should play through Streamlabs. Oh, gosh. Sorry, that's an ad. This is cool. All right, so can you see the screen?
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How long is this? This is 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
To go into a different team? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
And he's got like a beanie on.
saying never.
No, he's a hippie, bro.
He is a hippie, dude.
Yeah.
Got to see how I'm
He's got that,
once the emotions out of it, and then
like, look what he's wearing on his neck.
I do like him on Rogan a lot, though.
Look at that. What is he wearing?
Yeah, I don't
And then
know.
he's got like a really wide collar.
I do like him on Rogan, though. He seems pretty.
What's the truth about the injuries that you went through this involved?
Bro, wait. I think the ending was like,
and Pete angling for something, and Bob writing stories about my personal life. Been good lately though.
he's talking about how much he's going to miss the NFL, basically. Dude,
Kind of
what is happening, bro?
Stephanie Sutton.
Sorry, if you're listening to this, they're showing it on the TV as well.
Good question. I miss the guys. I miss the fans. Thank you.
Well,
But
can
yeah,
the,
so I
can the
guess
Packers
basically-
trade him? Like, who do you think would go out and get him if he?
I think.
You think he's just done?
Oh, dude.
Do you think it's Packers
Um,
or retire?
I don't know, man. And let us know if you guys liked being able to hear that. I don't know. That's new for us. So eventually, maybe we'll get it to where you can see what we're watching on the screen,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
so you guys can kind of see
Maybe
us
we'll
live
just have like a
react.
TV and then a camera, like
See us
Rogue.
live react to it.
Yeah.
But we're on the ups, guys. This is the number one upcoming podcast in the world.
It's all right.
Just so you know.
New mics, good camera, good setup.
Get set up, baby. Mini LeBron.
Two's better than one.
Mini LeBron James.
Does anybody do a podcast just by themselves?
I'm sure. Yeah.
I would not want to do that. I feel like if two people you feed off each other.
I mean, like.
'Cause
well,
this is more of like a debate show.
I
for
guess.
real.
Okay. Also, when they're by themselves, usually there's like a dude like Jamie. Like Theo Vaughn has that Asian kid.
Oh, just to like give him company and like do all like the computer
Yeah, he'll
stuff.
like bounce off of him sometimes.
yeah.
Or like comedians. There's a few comedians that
I mean, Colin Coward has his own podcast. Nick Wright. Nick Wright has a guy
see.
on there that he kind of bounces
Yeah, he
off
does.
of too.
But Colin Coward usually somebody hops on
Yeah.
a lot of times. But yeah, dude. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, that ayahuasca.
Dude, I did want to talk about Skip
with the
and
tweets.
Shannon. Yeah.
Like, are you like about the tweets specifically? Let's watch that.
I just thought like that whole thing was just weird. I wonder if my question was, I wonder if Skip and Shannon are just done, or if they're gonna take away Skip off the show.
I don't know, man. All right, let's watch this.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to DeMar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, and we know injuries are a part of the game.
Is this the one?
Yeah, this is it. Go back up.
But I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So they struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus.
In Shannon Sharp's return,
What the heck is this, bro?
No, just Skip.
Skip tweeted something.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
The tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down. But I didn't want it.
well, time out. I'm not going to take it down
Okay,
because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me.
Okay, all right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead. Let's go, Jan.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting
Okay.
me. You could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought-
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were gonna bring up-
No, I was just gonna say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was gonna do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly,
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jan.
Yeah.
Incredible. This is what a falling out in real time.
Yeah, I feel like yeah.
The disrespect
Which I was just
has
talking,
been on-
bro. All right, there we
Goodness.
go. Like it was. refusing
I've
to
watched
let
that
me
guy
pause it.
for so long. He like
Really?
hates Skip Bayless, man.
Yeah, I feel like we're watching the
The fall of
Yeah, we're
Skip or
watching-
the fall of Undisputed.
yes.
The fall of Undisputed.
Yeah, I mean, if Skip has his own show, somebody else may as well name it something different.
Well, could you imagine if Skip went back to First Take? I
Yeah.
mean, that would destroy the internet. That would break the internet. I
Yeah.
think First Take can you imagine the first episode back with Skip? How
And,
many
yeah,
views that would
Stephen A.
get?
Yeah,
I mean, that would be insane.
Yeah.
There would be nothing more
I'd
than I
watch it
want.
100%.
Oh, I would watch it every day.
yeah.
There's no doubt. They are the OG duo of like debate
Yeah.
shows. They're just the best. I mean, not the OG. I'm sure there was like in the
Yeah,
80s
yeah.
and 90s, but that is the greatest
So that would be the goated
duo,
The goated duo are back.
of any
But yeah, I
sports
feel like
show.
we're watching, for sure, watching the beginning of a breakup to some extent. I listened to Undisputed this morning though, and Skip had brought something up. I guess Shannon's nephew is a big Packers fan, and he had brought something up about how he texted him that morning and said like, how how Aaron Rodgers said RELAX, like relax,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, and then your nephew texted me RELAPSE, relapse, as in that's like what Aaron Rodgers is doing now,
Yeah.
and like.
They laughed about it.
Yeah, they laughed about it, but I guess if his nephew's texting him, I don't know. I mean, who are we to say, bro? Like,
Yeah, we have no clue for real.
like I get the argument looked bad, and people are like, "Oh, this is a breakup between Skip and Shannon, and this is the beginning of the end and stuff." And been like, I don't know. I've argued with you like that before, and we're brothers.
Well, I
And,
mean,
like,
I
the
know-
next day we're
yeah.
fine, and I don't know if they're as close as brothers, but
they're probably close because Shannon, when they Skip like vouched for Shannon to be on the show, so Shannon was like forever grateful to Skip. At least is what he said like on this podcast when he was.
he
first
does
got
have
on
his
the
own
show.
podcast too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a funny show.
His podcast, you
Yeah.
listen to it? Is it
I've
by himself?
watched it before. No, he always has like a guest.
Oh, okay, like every day or like week or something.
I'm not sure like how many times he posts a week, but
Yeah, more than
probably
us.
probably like twice, 3 times a week maybe. It's called Club Shay Shay.
Clove, shit.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
but beyond that,
we gotta talk about Dallas now. Which I
all right.
was saying-
So, if Dallas plays anywhere close to how they just played against the Commanders, if Dak Prescott plays anywhere close to how he just played against the Commanders, they will lose in the first round to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady won't even have to play good.
no, he doesn't.
That's the
Just give him
worst
2
game
minutes.
they've played all season.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst games I've ever seen Dak Prescott play, and that's saying something because this year is probably the worst year he's had in his career also. And he leads the NFL in picks. He's tied with Davis Mills from the Texans.
He throws so many
for
picks, I
picks,
can't
and
take
he only
anymore.
played 12 games.
He has the longest streak this year of any quarterback with picks thrown in the game.
And he's only played 12 games.
Yeah. And he's had 7 or 8 straight games with a pick. And he threw yesterday under 50% completion percentage, under 200 yards, and a pick and a touchdown.
I mean, the Cowboys yesterday looked rough.
His
dude.
completion percentage yesterday was 37.8%.
And a lot of people want to argue. So I said on the podcast that I thought they should sit their starters.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were on there saying, you know what? They should play their starters. They need to get momentum. They need to, even if it's a 2% chance, they need to fight to get the 1 seed, blah, 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 blah. They don't get the 1 seed. Their momentum, if anything, is going the opposite direction. It's derailing.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, what happened yesterday is the worst case scenario for the Dallas Cowboys. You played everyone. You lost to the Washington Commanders starting a
their
QB.
third string.
Yeah, starting a QB that's never started before. Who dropped over 20 on your defense.
And they smacked you in the face.
And your offense looked atrocious.
Yeah.
You looked like you couldn't move the ball at all.
Yeah, and you're supposed to have the best offense in the NFL since Dak returned.
Yeah.
And you dropped 6 on the Washington Commanders, who, I mean, has a pretty good defense, but still, I don't care. The Dallas Cowboys are just a laughing stock, man. Like, they're a straight up laughing stock. I know they've won 12 games this year, but I'm picking the Bucks to win that game. I don't think Dallas is. It's just, I don't know. I go back and forth on it.
I'm still going to
but
pick Dallas because one thing about Dallas is
You just don't know.
they don't usually put 2 bad games together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just don't know what you're going to get from them.
It's going to be hard for me to say that they're going to do that twice, and I think it's going to take them to do that again for the Bucks to win.
To play that bad? I don't think so.
If that was a 1 out of 10, if they play a 3 out of 10, it's equivalent.
I don't.
So
think
I-
well, what do you think the Bucks are going to do? You don't think?
I think the Cowboys have to pay 4 out of 10 to win.
Okay, I think it's more like 6.5 to
Yeah.
win because I think the Bucks are going to be ready to go. They have nothing to lose.
The Bucks averaged
Nobody-
18 points a game.
Yeah, but the last few games they played a lot better though.
18. They dropped.
No, I'm not going to
17,
I'm
yes,
not going to overrate the
14.
Bucks and say they're a good team because they're just a mediocre team who luckily was in a trash division. That's the only reason they got in the playoffs. But it's kind of like
The
Tom
worst.
Brady is kind of like LeBron.
The worst
Or just
division.
get him in the playoffs and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So he's dangerous for sure.
Which maybe the Jaguars ended up in the worst division after all.
Yeah, for real. That division's sorry.
Who else in that besides the Titans?
It's the AFC South. Is the Texans in there? They got to be, right? Yeah, the Texans, Caden. I don't know
And
who the fourth
Indiana.
team. That is a terrible.
The Colts.
That's a worst division for sure. Worst
So
division.
that one is Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and
Yeah,
Colts.
that's the worst division of football.
and Houston, I mean. and then the other one is Tampa Bay, Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta. Yeah, so I would have
AFC
to
South
say
is the worst.
the
division.
Jacksonville Jaguars ended up in the worst division of football after all.
No doubt. No doubt. They're the worst division.
And you know who actually turned out to be the like second worst or like fourth worst?
Oh.
I guess that'd be third worst, the NFC North.
Yeah, which I said wasn't that good of a division.
But who? Let's be honest.
I said that.
I get that Seattle's going to make the playoffs and Seattle's the 7. But you're lying unless you're a Seattle fan, you're lying if you didn't want the Lions in there. I mean, they won 8 of the last 10
Yeah,
games.
I wanted the Lions
They were
in
top
there.
4 offense in the NFL. It's almost saddening that the Lions are not in the playoffs.
Well, I either wanted Green Bay or the Lions because they were both playing well. But Green Bay just
I mean,
straight up choked.
Aaron Rodgers choked, and
But I wanted the Lions.
then their
in.
defense choked. But Ben Johnson is just insane play caller. He's a masterful play caller.
I just like the Lions culture. I like their head coach, and they just got better as the season went on, and they won 8 of their last 10 games. So
Right.
I wanted to see them in more than any of the 3 teams.
Wait, before the podcast, you said you were going to say something important. What was that?
Oh, I already talked about Aaron Rodgers. I was just going to talk about if he's either going to be in retirement or go to a different team. And I was going to talk about how he's a hippie and that I think he puts a lot of things before winning. So
I think he don't think
he
he's
just reminds me of
obsessed
KD.
with-
Like KD
KD.
was all about winning a title. Then he goes to Golden State, wins back to back, and he says titles don't matter. Like they both try to convince themselves in their brains that winning doesn't matter, but it does, and it drives them crazy. I know it does. That other people are winning around them. You know
Well,
what
that's
I mean?
the thing. He was like, man, I'm not going to regret anything about my career
Yeah, I know. That's
if
what
he
I'm saying.
retired. And, bro, you lost to an old Tom Brady who you lost to your entire career. Well, not really, but
Not really didn't play often.
you watched win your entire career.
Yeah.
And then you lost to Jared Goff. And not even a playoff game for the Lions. So, like,
I mean, that's rough.
that has to be something.
Yeah.
And, Colin Cowherd's gone out and saying, he's like, Aaron Rodgers has played so bad. You may as well have played Jordan Love the last 3 years. And I would
years.
Yeah, and I would
He
not
just
go.
won back-to-back MVPs. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
But anyway, he's saying that you may as well play Jordan Love. And I'm definitely not going to go that far. I think Colin Cowherd is like, I don't know. If
He's always extreme one way or the other.
right. Colin Cowherd, yeah.
He's trying to get clicks.
Yeah. Which I wonder if he's posted today. I go look at his posts all the time just to see what like he's saying. And usually I'll like actually watch it, but
This is what we talked about. 1 year can be an aberration. 2, not sure. 3 is reality. He has been outplayed by Jared Goff.
that's what we just said.
Yeah.
And Brady.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Jimmy G, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Last
that.
year. And they were like a pretty good favorite in that game, I know, because they were at home, Lambeau at night.
Him in Tennessee.
How do you lose that game, man?
Arthur Smith gave
That's another thing, dude. Speaking of that, the QB carousel that it's about to happen is nuts. Derek Carr is going to go somewhere. Ryan Tannehill is going to go somewhere. The Atlanta needs
Tom
somebody.
Brady might,
Tom Brady might leave.
because Vegas wants him.
We got Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud coming into the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be
This is the best quarter.
Jimmy G's probably gone. Like, I mean, this offseason hopefully is going to be nuts.
Yeah. Sure.
And, yeah, again, if Ben Johnson says, I like where the Lions are at a lot. A lot of momentum going into the next year for the Lions.
Yep.
You're tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
All right, we'll call it.
it.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. That's it for episode number 39 of the Good Point Bro podcast. Please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Look us up on TikTok. Not really on Instagram anymore.
No.
But as you guys know, you can see us on YouTube at the Good Point Bro podcast. All right, so tell your friends about it. If you guys see anything wrong and you're a little tech wizard or something and you know something I can fix, please let me know. Type it out in the comments. We'll get it fixed for the next one. Episode 40 is coming up. The big 4-0, baby.
Let's go.
53. Yes, sir. Later.
Peace.